Yeah, hey everybody, Cameron Ram here, back with Jeff Knobloch and the Construction Dirt podcast, proudly sponsored by JK Worldwide, group of companies. Worldwide. Back here's episode, just Jeff and I today, just shooting the shit, chit-chatting. Been a little bit, I guess, since we had one. Back in action here.
How you doing, Cam?
I'm doing good, Jeff. How are you today?
Doing okay today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, the windy weather hasn't gotten you.
Midweek,
Just pushing through.
Yeah.
Just pushing through. Yeah. What's been going on?
Getting to enjoy a lot of the sports here, local sports. Maybe snuck down and saw a couple football games.
There you go.
Which is like to consider Seattle local to Vancouver. But yeah, it's been good getting out a little bit, enjoying, like I said, I enjoy watching live sports. So every time you can. I feel I told you this story, but was in Seattle the night before the football game. And it turned out that the NCAA Seattle Showcase was in town. I didn't know about it. But the game started a half hour after we got there. So my son and I went, and
that's cool.
It was great. It's not often you get to see NCAA college basketball.
Yeah. Because you're, bit of a basketball kind of guy.
A little bit. It's kind of my, one of my favorite things. Yeah. And then, work, it's been busy, a lot of transition, a little bit of change here, which is always exciting.
For sure.
Pieces into place and making things a little bit better. That's one of the things I always enjoy. Yes, it's can be, I'll say, stressful and a little overwhelming at times. But the long-term gain for the short-term pain is definitely worth persevering through. Yeah. What about you then? Since I shared my...
Christmas time coming up. I thoroughly enjoy the Christmas period. The kids and the lights and all that kind of stuff. That's my jam. So yeah, it's been good getting out, and I had a daughter's birthday that's in there too, mixed in. So it's always a bit of a show. But yeah, it's been spectacular. And then work-wise, Tilt Up Nexus was in town. Tilt Up Construction Association, little local kind of event for us up here, which is kind of fun. We always end up traveling down somewhere in the south to go see them. So it's kind of fun for those guys to make their way up and put on a little event with them. So yeah, that was good. And then just some transitional stuff and working through some things, and it's been good. It feels different this year coming towards Christmas. It almost feels like everyone's still just pedal to the metal. Yeah, versus a few.
It's even December 1st, everyone takes the month of December off because it's Christmas. So.
Yeah, or like, hey, we already passed the VRCA Christmas luncheon, so what are you doing still working? You know what I mean? It's a different go.
I feel too, though, like obviously right now there is a lot going on in the industry, but then there's also not a lot of construction starts happening right now. Mm-hmm. So I think, the people that are working right now on the sites are really pushing and trying to get through. Mm-hmm. Also, we haven't had the winter yet, so it's been easier to get these projects finished off or completing. There isn't that.
We got some windows.
Yeah. We got to take advantage of those windows. I know the spring has a good outlook for a lot of people too with, I don't know what you want to call it, whatever that term is. This says things are going to start moving
economical outlook.
Yeah.
Presented by Jeff Knobloch.
Right. Without the crystal ball.
You got the 8-ball on your desk, don't you?
Yeah, that's more of a decision thing. Like, should we do this? And it says yes, no, try again later. But the crystal ball is an overall vision into the future of what's going to happen.
Fair enough.
That's pretty murky and unclear these days.
For sure.
For a lot of people.
For sure.
But I do know the projects that you have, we were talking about this earlier about, the great thing about working with a lot of the guys out there is the team that gets together to put these projects together. I know we've had some challenges lately on some sites, or not just where we are. I should say in general, there are a lot of challenges that pop up on site. I'm removed from those a little bit, and I know you probably have some examples of things that go on, or say a general example of some of the things that go on, but I just taking it back down to that communication is a key part. And my side of what we do at RAM is the client contractor more relationship. And then I know your side is client contractor, but then you get the joy of the client contractor as well as subcontractor supplier relationship. And I know both are very important, and some are more important than others at certain stages of the project. So
for sure.
I'll say the easy side is getting the contract set up and going, and then on to Cam and the construction team. And then what is one of the biggest things that we should work on there, or challenges you see? Or
one of my slogans, and I've used it a lot recently in the last year or so, is that setting the team up for success. And when you think about the team, you think about the project team in general. So you think of, the general contractors people, you think of the subtrades, you think of the client as well, consultant groups, suppliers, distributors. So, setting them up for success. And, one of the bigger ones these days that we're seeing is just the the clear expectations for a client to contractor, contractor to subtrade, contractor to distributor, subtrade to distributor, supplier, things like that. And it's just, getting everybody on the same page and understanding, what the expectations are. And a lot of times, we talk about a lot with clients where I talk about like a new relationship. It's like you're getting a new girlfriend. And it's like, does she like to cook? Does she like my cooking? Does she like to go out all the time? Does she like to watch movies and snuggle up on the couch? Like, you have no idea. Rough example, but it's, it's the same kind of attributes to where you never really know what you're getting yourself into. And right. And to, have those conversations out the gate and have those clear expectations on the outset of the project to set the entire team up for success. I always say when I talk to a subtrade, a lot of times I say, like if it's not going well for you, it's not going well for me. I don't want it to not go well for you because then I know that it's not going to go well for me. Yeah. So why, let's all work together here because we all want to, successfully complete a project and get through it. Right. Yeah. So,
and it's hard too because you got the company and maybe the company is a fit for the contractor. But then you dive down one more level. Well, the individuals at that company also need to be a fit for the individuals at the other company. So two great companies, but you get a team of individuals that maybe don't mesh or see eye to eye. It definitely makes it a challenge.
For sure. And I think aligning with the companies or with the people that, value that aspect of their company is a big one too. Aligning yourselves with, companies that obviously meet your values, but they also hold those values in their own internal operations too, right? And understand that their people are a key part to the process and, not just one guy, the owner of that subtrade is going to make the difference. It's all of his field employees, project managers, delivery guy, like the whole thing, right? Yeah. And it all needs to be aligned. I think that's probably one of the biggest ones that we've seen is ensuring that, you have those conversations. I mean, that's a big, huge part of my job is having those conversations with the subtrades, the suppliers, the distributors, the clients, and sometimes they're hard conversations and sometimes they're easy conversations. And it's just, and maintaining those conversations too. So, not just having one talk with somebody and then never reaching out to them again. It's touching base, the touch points. Hey, how's this going for you? That kind of thing.
Yeah. And I know it's not a hard policy that we work under, but like we'll try out new trades, but we don't want to try 2 or 3 new trades on a job. There's the group of trades that are good, that have performed well in the past. And typically everyone feels more comfortable using those, but it is also good to try someone new. But I'm very hesitant and reluctant to try several new on a project at the same time because
for sure,
that expectation that we have needs to be sort of portrayed to that other team as well. You do talk about expectations a lot. So is that a verbal, hey, these are what we expect and rah, high fives and off we go. And then 7 months of the project and things go upside down. And everyone forgets about that rah, high five or?
I mean, the expectations are, a lot of the subcontractor documents and things like that kind of outline the key points of those expectations. I always say, we always talk about CCDC2 contracts or, CCA1 or Appendix A's for subcontractors. And, some people are like, oh, we don't need this. We used to do a handshake and on a napkin sketch kind of thing. And which, construction contracts are not there to pooch anybody. Yeah. The construction contracts are there to provide the roadmap. And I guess when you ask, the expectation piece, that's where that comes from is those documents and is those things because it's provides that roadmap of, know you're doing this, know you're doing that. Easy conversation at the beginning to just talk through it, but it's something to reference back to if necessary, right? So
no, I totally hear you there. Yeah, it's not we can do a handshake deal. It's just the paperwork's there and the information's there to reference. So
and we get into this weird situation and how do we navigate through this?
Yeah.
Oh, we have this 38-page document in the bottom drawer that's collecting dust that we can blow the dust off and read through. And oh, cool. That's how we deal with that. Awesome.
Yeah. See, I thought we were scanning them and saving them to SharePoint now or something like that.
Yeah, right. I just use ChatGPT to answer most of those things.
Isn't this on ChatGPT right now?
Is this even Jeff and Cam talking? This is a deep fake. Deep fake AI.
Yeah. It was encouraging though. I'm kind of going on a little tangent here, but I've had several people ask when our next episode's coming out.
Yes.
And are asking me questions. And there was one even from our first episode. And I was like, I don't even know what this person's at. Oh, right. You listen to our podcast. Sorry, I shouldn't sound surprised right now. were out there. But like,
well, I mean, that person was one of the 5 followers. So
yeah, totally. And I hope that they told a bunch of their friends. Their friends are also followers. And
here's open.
if they're not listening, they can still follow.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. What was the thing they brought up?
The hydrogen in the chip.
Oh, yes.
And they brought
nitrogen.
Nitrogen, sorry. Hydrogen.
Ooh, that's helium. Sorry.
I think you might sound like that too with hydrogen.
Probably.
Yeah. And then there was a little tie-in into the construction industry on that as well. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
we actually had a couple tie-ins to the construction on that one. I think who mentioned that to me? The Knox Creek boys were mentioned to me about the nitrogen that they use for packaging and stuff.
So it's not just for chips.
Yeah. Not just for the Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about the Tilt Up Nexus. So I love showcasing what we do in Vancouver until, talking a lot about RAM right now, but like when RAM joined the TCA, it would have been 2015, 2016, like obviously not very early on in Ram's career when Ram was a Tilt Up specialist. But when I first got introduced to that organization and realized that, and I'm generalizing, but a lot had no idea that we did tilt in Canada.
Oh, for sure.
And, when you think of it, Canada, yeah, we do tilt in Canada, but it is heavy Vancouver, West Coast based and somewhat heavy East Coast, Halifax, Nova Scotia based. I don't want to not mention about Len in Tilwa, Ontario, who has a good presence in Ontario, but no, tilt up is not big in Canada compared to the US. But then when the TCA and RAM start getting involved and people are coming up here, and I'm not just saying it's just RAM, obviously BD and some of the other construction companies have been promoting tilt forever, but I love their faces and the comments on, oh my goodness, you guys actually I didn't know you guys built this many tilts up here. And also it's the tilts that you would submit for awards, not just the box. Selfishly get some pride out of it. And they're talking about buildings that our competitors have built, not ones we built. And I still get kind of goosebumps talking about it because the other side of it, when I've been at some of the TCA things in Atlanta and down, they are talking about igloos and ice blocks.
Oh, yeah.
It's
cool stuff.
It is. Bringing that event. I know it's in Canada every year, but our first time in Vancouver, I was pretty proud of the turnout and
for sure
getting to showcase what we do a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I remember, some of my early on kind of interactions in the TCA and meeting some people, from South in the TCA. And I just love there's one guy, one comment he made, and he says, I don't know how you guys build those tilts on postage stamps. Looking at some of their job sites are, acres and acres and acres. They have so much space. And, up here, obviously land's at a premium and, and it was, so I've always heard that and, the cranes and.
Did you see the size of the cranes?
With the buggy, the 660 with the buggy? Oh, my godness.
Yeah,
but,
you got your crane talk in.
Yeah, I got it in there. But no, and then fast forwarding to the Tilt Nexus event and having, TK&D go up and give a speech about or a little presentation about their stack tilts and, things like that. It's cool to really hone in our market and hone in on the tilt in our market and how it goes together and how we can utilize the land potentially better to do cool things. So.
Yeah, and it was cool. The follow-up I got too. There's 2, maybe 3 companies now that are thinking of joining TCA.
Oh, beautiful.
Which is obviously a big part of having these events to grow awareness and structural engineer and architect and a contractor. So yeah, it's great. Yeah. I'm happy to see it's growing a bit. Yeah.
It was fun to see some of the guys come up too. It wasn't just local market people.
No, for sure.
Which it was, obviously was for, but yeah, to see some of the, Rick and Barclay and those guys come up from the States was
tilt experts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just love getting together with some of those guys and just talking shop about some of the things that they do and some of the tips and tricks that they do. And I don't know, that collaboration piece, our mutual friend Mitch and I were chatting about it the other day, but just that, in the States, that collaboration piece is massive in that organization. I just love that piece of it of, oh, we do this. Oh, I've never even thought of that before. Or, we should try that.
So Barclay Gable Concrete Strategies showed us the video of their 95 1-inch tall insulated panel that was 380,000 pounds. And, I mean, there was a lot of guys there that put that whole thing together to make that happen. And that, I mean, it's amazing that record that they got for that. But it wasn't just one person that was like, hey, let's just build this panel and go. And back to the crane and how they lifted that thing, I was just blown away. One that someone thought, let's do this. And then the other that they had the
knowledge and experience to figure out.
And the guts to do it. Like that's huge. And that thing lifting off that slab,
that's pretty cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And even Len, I mean, I think he got up there and even said, going back to the collaboration piece, he said, I got into a bind, I think it was a couple months ago, where he, called up Barclay from Concrete Strategies and said, hey, I got this I got this issue. You know, how have you ever seen this before? And Farclight's seen it and gave us some advice and pushed through, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's that betterment to the industry. And I'm always a huge proponent for that, because whatever we can do to promote the industry in general, first and foremost, and then, you know, on specific avenues, you know, the TCA and the tilt up thing is a big part of, you know, our lives as well.
Yeah.
So
I know, like last week or maybe the week before, we were talking about too, like large projects, small projects, and that how sometimes that care and attention isn't put on the small ones because they're considered simple, easy ones that are in and out. But I guess your thoughts a little bit more on, let's just try it the other way. Is this one of those true or false statements? Like, it's, what are your thoughts on that?
Small projects almost take more time from a due care and attention standpoint than the bigger ones. So you think about, let's say, consultant design time for a 300,000 square foot box, obviously going to take longer than a, you know, 10,000 or 5,000 square foot box, right? But the amount of time on the finer details on that smaller box outweighs extensively the amount of smaller details that you're going to find on that larger box. And then, you know, further to that, then it's going through, okay, how can we make this better? What else can we do? I mean, we did a tilt a few years ago now where we essentially maximized the size of the panels so that we could only have to build, I think it was like 8 panels, you know, I mean, they were massive, you know, and maxed out the crane, but we didn't have to build 20 panels on the job site, right? And so, you know, it's that due care and attention piece into the smaller ones that takes the time for sure.
Well, and I know if that, I always go with this example, let's say the electrical supplier who's in a warehouse somewhere far, far, far from here that has to get that light fixture on that pallet to get it on the truck so that it gets to our site on time. Yeah. And the impact that has on your monster tilt site or the small little TI or Reno that we're doing is the same impact of that thing doesn't show up. Well, that can happen and that can happen. And sometimes I feel that will affect the small one more. So that one light fixture they needed so the dryer could finish the room. Yeah. Well, in the big warehouse, okay, that one light didn't show up. Oh, we got some other lights we can put up. I'm not saying all the time, but like it just, that impact on that small little project. And that's back to that collaboration, the team, setting people up for success, having a company that maybe has done stuff like that in the past. Maybe try a new company, but you don't want to try the new company because you want it to go well. And it's difficult. Yeah, no, I mean, example, the light fixture, but I mean, it is case in point with everything, right? Like you think about the rebar, you know, like, oh, we didn't ship out the rebar for all the panels. We only shipped it out for, you know, the first 50. Yeah. Well, if you only have a site with 10 panels, you know, you might not have gotten any rebar for them, right? Or, you know, the roofing. Oh, we didn't bring enough EPDM or we can't get our hands on enough foam for the whole thing. So we're going to start with half of it. Well, that small addition or that small project or TI might only need that little bit of insulation that they couldn't get. Right? I got a good one. You can share this story. So I heard this story of a time where someone was waiting for a delivery and the delivery showed up and it was the right packing slip and the right paper on it, but the product underneath the tarp was totally wrong. Oh. So do you remember? You got it now. Yeah. So that for me is always a great example of everything is set up properly. The logistics are set up properly, but then there is a small little error along the way. So do you want to do the story or do you want me to... From my side of it or your side of it? Let's tell you, I mean, your side first, because So we were supposed to, it delayed my trip so I didn't have to deal with it.
So we went to the TCA convention in Nashville this past October. Yeah. And the TCA had a mini tilt panel exhibition. Mock-up medley. It's a little mini tilt panel exhibition thing. So I believe it was 12 contractors that created little miniature tilt panels. You had some specs that you had to be inside. Basically get it down to Nashville and display the panel, and then people voted on it and they voted for the one they liked the most. And so we built our tilt panel on site up here in Vancouver, Canada. Obviously some shipping and logistics aspects. We have to get it down to Nashville. So we put it all together, got it all tidied up, ended up, getting a shipping logistics company. Made our own redneck Canadian crate for all the pieces and parts.
Shipped it out, 12 days before the conference?
Oh, it was at least 14 or 15,
Lots of time to get there.
They said, hey, listen, let's ship it early. We can hold it for you for a while if need be, if it gets there early. Oh, spectacular. Way to go. This is awesome. Jeff got delayed. So it was me and 3 other guys down there. And they say, yep, your truck's here. Big flat deck and sweet. And I'm looking at it and it's like 3 times as high as the crate was. And the guy that built the crate was there with us. And he said, that's not what I put on the truck. And I was like, no way. And so we took the tarp off and took a peek at it, and packing slip's correct. It's got Cam Roy and my phone number written all over it, Ramp Construction. And yeah, sure enough, it was not the package, not the crate that was supposed to be down there.
It was 14 hours northeast in.
It was in Green Bay or something, wasn't it? Yeah. We got
electrical
panel or an electrical substation or something like that. And they got a miniature fake tilt panel.
Yeah. So it was 2.5 days later, and a lot of phone calls and stress. And
we finally got it brought over.
Yeah. I mean, and any of those listeners out there that do want to see, there is a good summary of the whole mock-up medley on the TCA website. Very proud of our entry into it. We did not bring home any of the hardware, but I'd like to say we're the second best Canadian team, and
for sure,
at least the 4th best panel there. They gave awards to 1 to 3. So.
I felt the funniest part though was like everybody else just drove their own flat deck truck over from Georgia or Florida here we are trying to get it across the border and paying tariffs both ways on the steel.
Totally. Even though it's coming back, we doubled the tariffs and doubled the duty. And, oh my goodness. But it's sitting in our yard now waiting to get put up somewhere. Together.
But I mean, just case in point, best laid plans, right? Like we, put all the due care and attention we could into it, and still didn't get the execution or the outcome we wanted.
I mean, part of it, I'm not trying to get deep either, but that's also, we were talking maybe just earlier about things out of your control. You can't let it get to you. Like we did everything we could to get it there, and if it was going to show up, it was going to show up. And if it didn't, it would have sucked. It would have been kind of embarrassing not having a panel, but the show went on.
It is what it is.
We'd have a different kind of maybe story to talk about now, or a little bit more of a joke to it. But
I've ever told you that quote of so life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it.
I've heard similar, but no, you have not. The reference to, should I be thanking someone else for that?
Yes.
Glenroy, thank you
that's
for
a Glenroy fun fact.
Thank you for
instilling that on your son at some
so
point.
You can pass on his knowledge to others. There's lots of those out there. So
but it is interesting, right?
For sure.
If that happens, how are you going to react? You're going to yell and scream, jump up and down. You're going to try and figure it out. You're just going to lose it. You're just going to say whatever. Yeah. That's it.
I do find the most, at least in my opinion, best way to handle that is to act calm and cool. It seems to come out the best. But I mean, sometimes I guess someone needs to see the animal or the monster come out. But like, I think, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking in general. Okay. In the world, it's better to come out on a cool, calm, collective approach. Just trying to think back in the history in the construction world, and any time that it came out pretty hot and heavy, it usually didn't end well for one or both.
No. Yeah.
It usually ends in a
tough go.
Yeah.
Usually ends in a tough go. Yeah, those clear expectations though, and just understanding people and, navigating conversations and, is such a big part of, I think any industry and any, human interaction, right? When you really dial it into the construction industry as a whole, some different individuals that are in construction sometimes. And, you really gotta navigate some of those conversations differently and understand where you're coming from and how to get your point across without, firing them up or coming across rude or disrespectful or something like that, right? So, yeah.
So I guess this is potentially our last recording in this studio before we move to our new studio.
Yes, new and improved studio coming up.
We'll let the many listeners know about the new studio once we move into it.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to have to decorate.
It's half decorated already.
Is it?
Yeah. Maybe similar theme to this one. But acoustics might be a little better.
Oh, that's exciting.
Chair might be a little comfier.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my butt pad today.
Right. So I'm shifting around a lot here.
Yeah. One of the other segments we've gone into before is the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to put you on the spot right away, but
I hope you have one then.
Yeah, me and the Delta the Langley Surrey SkyTrain have just been going down
Is it because you drive by it every day?
Every single day. Yeah, really just that whole thing, putting that together, and just it's funny thinking about it from a construction mindset and just like, they're building like the columns first, and they're like a ways ahead with the columns before the gantry crane comes and starts installing the track segments. And then when they install the track segments and like, how do they get them all up there? And it was funny actually. So my wife, Bree, we were driving in the car and we passed underneath a section that had already been installed. Like the track section was installed, and underneath where the track touched the two pedestals, there was just like 2x4s, like stacked up, kind of like cribbing to hold it up there. And Bree was just like, what? Like, they can't just leave like lumber up there. They can't just leave the 2x4s up there. And I was like, you're right. And then I was like, how are they going to lift that whole section? Like, did they come back with a gantry crane or like lift the whole thing up? And then it was like a week later and there was a couple guys with like a hydraulic jack underneath of the one section.
Okay.
And then they like jack it up and then they put like the isolation pads under and like get it to the correct elevation. And then they like grouted it in. I was just like, oh, that's cool. Because I was like, how are they going to lift that whole thing up?
Yeah. I got a little glimpse of it because I was going through Langley City, kind of near the end of where the line's going to be.
Yeah.
I drove across Fraser Highway and quickly looked left. I was like, oh goodness.
Oh no.
It's coming fast. You know, they're still years away, but
they're flying
fast.
Yeah. And the alignment of it too, like where, you know, north side of the Fraser Highway, south side of Fraser Highway. And then like, how does it cross over Fraser Highway? And like the added track, the width of the track where the down by 176 in Fraser, where they're going to have the new operations maintenance center in that field. They have to add a third track section so they can like switch trains and like bring them down into the area. And I don't know. I've been down a rabbit hole pretty hard on that lately.
Yeah. I watched a video the other day, not on the train and all that. It was cofferdams.
Okay.
And then like, you know, building bridges over rivers and how they do it. And I knew of the concept. But then when I watched the like kind of the how do you do it video, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like,
well, that's interesting.
That's pretty far down on some rivers.
Have you seen that? Some of those like bridges when they cofferdam off like the sentence.
Well, and
like,
when you watch it in the time lapse, I'm like, man, this is simple and easy. And like, why don't you do this all the time? But I was like, my goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Those are neat.
Didn't go down the rabbit hole of it. I just watched that video. And then obviously through the feeds, it just kept sending me more like how this is built and how this is made. And,
you're on the algorithm now.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's cool though.
Yeah. So
there's some neat stuff.
Yeah. But that's back to the construction and what you can do and the amazing things and put the right minds to it. And
for sure. And the right team and putting the right team together. And, you know, like we talked about earlier, like all the way client to consultant group to sub-trades and, you know.
So your SkyTrain there that you're talking about is multiple contractors and contracts and pieces tying together, but the supplier of one piece is doing it all. Like it's...
Yeah, you got the RDLC guys and you got the Skylink and you got the SkyTrain station guys and... Yeah.
And eventually someone's going to hit the switch and the train's going to go up and down the track from Surrey to Langley.
Yeah.
Like it's just...
The one that blows me away is the scope gap. Like, I mean, you know, we talk about like, who had the condensation drain from the HVAC unit?
Yeah.
Oh no, we got to run a piece of copper.
Yeah, never thought of that.
But like,
I mean, it's easier though.
Who's got the electrical?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but then in the end, it's easier when paying those extras don't really have much say in it. It's,
fair enough.
Well, okay, here you go.
Right. We forgot those.
Here's some more cost.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be open by the end of the year in a reduced capacity with one lane alternating or something like that.
Oh, the old Patella, yeah.
But I did totally switch back over to my bridge there.
They just paved it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Oh, so it might actually happen.
I saw a picture of a paving crew up there. So they took the scaffolding down on one of the tower.
Okay.
So things are happening.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm going to drive under it every day and only see one side. So
yeah, they're,
I don't know what the other side looks like.
No, I saw, and I know they do this all the time. So the Olympics coming up are, oh man, I totally blanked. I know, I fully believe it's somewhere in Italy though.
Milan?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is that
they're starting to leak photos, not leak them, but show photos of the
events, venues and stuff.
Yeah. No, oh my God, they're not going to get done in time. And I was like, there's lots of time. February? You know, they just gotta take the plastic down and paint some chairs.
They gotta make the rink bigger.
Oh, is that where that started?
I don't know.
I think they're probably just going to play on the NHL rink this year.
I think they're just going to leave it alone.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I remember that every Olymp, they're like, after the Vancouver one, they're like, they're not going to be ready for the next one. It's going back to Vancouver. Like, they'll be ready.
They'll figure it out.
Done.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hours left between now and the start of the Olympics.
For sure.
To get the stuff
for
done.
sure.
But
I haven't seen much on that though.
Yeah, I think it was last week I started seeing a little bit, but it was through the sports channel feed, so it wasn't like...
Wonder how many venues they actually built specific for.
So there's your rabbit hole to go
down. Yeah. Because, I mean, in here we did the Richmond Oval.
Upgrades.
Jackpot Plaza stuff.
But then BC Place did a bit for the opening ceremonies, that type of thing.
A little bit, but they didn't put the roof on until after.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whistler
Sliding Center.
Yeah.
And the jumping, the ski jump stuff.
Yeah, and I thought there was another arena out in that some of the curling was done at that was not necessarily in Vancouver, but
interesting.
I could be wrong on that. So someone could maybe let us
Wonder
know.
how many, like on average, how many new structures or new facilities are built.
Pacific Coliseum also got upgraded
for sure
it as well.
Yeah.
They hosted some of the hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that legacy thing because it ties into the FIFA World Cup coming.
Yeah.
Driving through Vancouver, there's, multiple parks being redeveloped as practice fields for the World Cup teams that are coming. And I know there's like, some people are just totally anti-sport and don't see it, but like, man, you're getting all these brand new fields, the events coming, it's bringing, stimulating the economy. And then you have this legacy.
I was going to say, they call it legacy structures or legacy
because it's there forever.
Upgrades.
Artificial turf and fields and stands and washrooms and change rooms and like it's great. But yeah, and obviously you don't want to be here. Well, rent your place out, make a lot of money, and go away for a month. Like I can't afford tickets. No, but watching that stuff come together, like it was, my son had some ball hockey in different areas, and so drop them off and go for a little walk before the game starts. Like, man, this is cool watching that. It's more earthworks type stuff, but it's still pretty cool watching fields and stadiums and events. So and that whole new Whitecaps stadium idea, I mean, I'm very intrigued. I saw renderings like 5-6 years ago when they talked about maybe building a stadium down there. Just the design and where it's going to be located with the mountains and all that. Like,
it's pretty cool.
Pretty neat thing to watch.
For sure. Yeah. Even the BC Play stuff for FIFA, they did the roof on it. I think they just, because they had to, which is, I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's spectacular, but them dumping quite a bit into there now to really upgrade the
overdue upgrade.
The structure and the facilities. And I mean, I'm really excited to see how long the grass,
my guys tell me it's, they just got to get through the summer.
They just got to make
2 months of it. Right?
Yeah. June and July, and that's it.
And then they'll be back to the artificial turf for the Lions.
Yeah.
And the Whitecaps moving forward until they get their new stadium. But it's like, it's that one's a ways.
Yeah.
I know they signed a memorandum of understanding that they're going to look into a new stadium. And it's probably going to lead to a new stadium, but there's a lot of steps that have to be taken before that will be approved and funded. And,
no, for sure.
But it all makes sense now why they shut the racetrack down.
In Cloverdale, they shut the racetrack down.
Oh, really? That I didn't know. Like same time, kind of both, like 2 weeks ago? Oh, wow.
It probably is. It's probably 2 months ago, 3 months ago, because we were there. We were at the light show on the Bright Nights over there. And all of a sudden I look over and there was an excavator and they had taken all the barns down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are they planning to develop there?
I don't know. I heard rumblings of like a massive sports kind of like indoor pool kind of big thing, but I don't
because right now that they're doing 2 rinks at the Cloverdale.
They did. Well, they have 2 ice surfaces currently at the new Cloverdale Arena. Yeah. And then, I mean, there was guys putting footings in next door. Yeah. So I think they're maybe even putting an addition or an extension onto that already.
Yeah. And then the current rec center has the gymnasium in it, I believe, right?
Yeah, the current rec center on that, it has a gym, 2 gymnasiums and a workout facility. Yeah. And then there's the other one up in Clayton Heights as well. So, but I mean, with the SkyTrain in that area and just bringing the mass population, growth is going to be crazy. Yeah. So, it'll be interesting to see and just watch some of that the municipal stuff over the next little while and see what the big projects are, because another rabbit hole. But like just thinking about, we talk about land. Mm-hmm. And the Lower Mainland. And we talk about, how struck we are for, large pieces of property and things like that. And, thinking of now just knowing that and, driving around and seeing, who owns that lot? And that's a City of Surrey thing. And like, oh, wow, that's a City of Surrey thing. And like Fleetwood, they always talked about where the Surrey Sport and Leisure Center is, like City of Surrey bought that piece of property right on the corner there beside it where the little market used to be.
Triple E's?
Or 2 E's. It was not triple. It was only 2. Double E. Double E. But I mean, like, large chunk of land. What are they, what are their thoughts for that? What's going on? I mean, I see, again, SkyTrain. I'm seeing some, upgraded columns and things like that, potentially for future station maybe, or future, tie into a stadium or
north-south SkyTrain going in there or something.
Yeah, who knows, right? Yeah. So it's interesting to just kind of see all that different land and think about it, right? Yeah, the whole Cloverdale area. Now they didn't renew that lease with the racetrack. That's a large chunk of land as well. And stuff in Newton.
Yeah, I didn't realize all the horse racing's gone from Lower Mainland. I'm impartial to it.
You've been once. I've seen a picture. I've seen a picture. Oh, you've been a few times now. Oh, okay.
A yearly birthday celebration for a family friend. So, okay. I mean, I
only got to see the one picture with the funny hat.
Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't as good of a dress up the next time, but
I've never been.
No.
I got invited twice and I never went, but I should have.
Yeah, you just bet on some horses. It's like paint colors with the names of the horses sometimes.
Yeah.
So you pick a horse,
Piccadilly Circus. And
and then you go, yeah, harder, faster, yeah. And then see if you win or not.
Yeah.
And usually people just scan their ticket to see if they win because they have no idea what their ticket says.
See what happens.
The trifecta,
The trifecta.
Open box trifecta.
Open. Well, there you go.
Someone's going to correct me on that.
We'll see what happens. We're going to have some comments for sure. Yeah. Piccadilly Circus is not a horse
So the thing is, though, you can, it's crazy, but it's not crazy because you bet on anything these days.
Oh, yeah.
But you can bet on horse races all over North America from
online.
Yeah, you just
watch it, and
you can watch on a little screen if you want, or you just.
Are you a big horse betting guy?
Not at all.
Okay.
See, when I go, it's fun to spend. I think I give myself like $40 as entertainment.
Yeah. See what happens.
Last year I came home with 55, made $15.
My God. Time,
right?
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Didn't spend the winnings on extra drinks.
Of course not.
Oh.
Had to drive home.
I think that's it. I think that's all the time we got for today. Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the listen. Follow us on all the sociables. We're out there on the YouTube and the Spotify and wherever you get your local podcast from. That is Jeff and I on the Construction Dirt for another episode. And you everyone have a wonderful end to 2025, and we will catch up with you guys in 26. Take care.